My name is Adrienne Shulman. I'm the Early Childhood Director. I think I know most of you, all of you, hopefully, or I'll get to know more of you this year. We're looking forward to seeing you all at the J next week. We want to welcome back our returning families. We'd love to see you at the JCC and have loved the experience this summer of seeing so many of your kids at camp and in the pool having a great time. And we also want to give a big welcome to our new families. We hope that this is just the beginning of a lifelong experience with the JCC community. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Last week, our administrative team and our teachers were able to spend a lot of great time together with our professional development, getting ready for the new year. We were so lucky to have the time to bond as a community of teachers and learners and to begin our important work together. Our teachers are ready to welcome your children for our story gathering meetings and orientation days later next week. The story gathering meetings are really a time for you to come in and tell us a little bit about the story of who you are, who your childhood, who your child is, and what makes, what's very important to you as a parent, and where are your child's interests, and anything else that teachers may need to know about your child. The teachers are going to tell you the story about the classroom, who they are, what they bring to the classroom, what the feel of the classroom is day to day. So you'll get to learn a lot more about the class and our school policies and structures as well. Tonight is not an evening for Q&A session because most of your questions I feel will be answered during those story gathering meetings. You can also refer to our family handbook, which has a lot of information there. I'm sure you all took a look at it, keep it on file. You can always refer back to it. And please know that you can always reach out to me as well. For our new families, I do want to ask that you stop by our front desk when you come for your story gathering meetings. We will have a tablet available and the QR code for our Bright Wheel. Bright Wheel is a lot of stuff for us. Obviously, you know about turning in your forms via Bright Wheel. It's our communication tool, but really important too is that you are able to sign in your child in the morning and sign them out in the afternoon via Bright Wheel. It's very safe and secure. We want you to be able to practice how to do that. So if you already know how to do it, that's great. If you want a little practice, please stop by our front desk during your before or after your story gathering meeting to practice that. And then moving forward, most of our communication will take place via Bright Wheel. This evening, I do want to introduce the rest of our administrative staff to you. They are going to tell you a little bit about what they do at the JCC as well. I want to start with Stephanie Levin, who is the JCC's new CEO. We're very happy to have her with us. Rachel Zoller is the JCC Assistant Executive Director. Amanda Taylor in her new position as Director of Camp Youth and Family Engagement. Marcy-Ann Marks is our Assistant Director of the nursery school. Rebecca Kitchens is our Director of Teaching and Learning. And Jenny Evans is one of our toddler teachers, but is also a parent educator. So she's going to share a little bit about what she does with you, how you can reach her, and give you some tips for transitions and preparing for the first day of school. So I'm going to start with Stephanie.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be with everyone this evening. As Adrienne said, I'm the new CEO of the JCC. I just moved to New Orleans about 2 months ago from the Bay Area, where I've been working at a JCC out there for about 25 years. And I'm really thrilled to be here. When I came to interview at the center, one of the first things I wanted to see was the school and see what it was like and get a sense for it, because I knew that if I was going to go somewhere new, I wanted to be at a place that really prioritized education and the nursery school, and was looking for a place that had a really wonderful school in place, which we do. So I'm so thrilled to be here, and I look forward to getting to know all of the families and getting to know the teachers better over the coming year. So please, come by, introduce yourself. My office is just by the water fountain as you come in through the front door. So please come say hi anytime, and I look forward to seeing everybody around. Rachel?
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Zoller. I am also managing the room as people come in. So I'm a bit distracted. I will say if you've come in late, we are recording this, so we will be sending that out to families. I'm so excited to start a new year and see so many familiar faces and learn new faces that will soon become familiar. Amanda is next. Let me find her.
Right here. So many of you know me as the Early Childhood Care Director and Class Coordinator. I have accepted a new role, as Adrienne said. So now I am enrichment classes for both nursery school and for K through 5th. I run all of camp from preschool to 5th grade. And I do also all of the mini camps as well. So we have a few exciting things back this semester. We have our creative movement back for our littles, our dance foundations back for our K through 5th graders. So if you have siblings of nursery school that would like to enroll in that. We have ABCs, that's for our pre-K classes only. And we're bringing back our group swim lessons after a hiatus due to COVID. And then we also have some Shabbat gatherings coming up in September, a little teaser for you. So stay tuned for more information on that. Marcy Ann.
All right, welcome families. This is very exciting. It is our first new family Zoom meeting, although all families have been invited. A good thing that has come out of the Zoom era is that you didn't have to leave your home to attend this meeting. And most importantly, you didn't have to arrange for a babysitter. I'm Marcy Ann to some, Miss Marks to others, and also the lady that is always in a skirt, shirt, and sneakers. I am the assistant director of our early childhood program, and this is the beginning of my 19th year working at the JCC. I manage the day-to-day operations and support the teachers as they educate your precious children in a safe, nurturing, and a love learning for environment. Excuse me. Our early childhood program is a play-based learning center which helps children to develop social skills, motivation to learn, language, and numerical skills. Taking initiative, focused attention, and curiosity about the world are all part of our play. I'm looking forward to August 29th, when we will welcome all our new and returning students. Thank you for joining us this evening. And it's now Rebecca's turn.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Kitchens. I'm the Director of Teaching and Learning. And what that means is I work with teachers in classrooms to create and support a culture of dialogue between the teachers and the students, the families and the teachers and the educators together. So we are also working on joining our attention to the attention of the children so that we can better understand their thinking and give them ownership over their own ideas and thought processes. And one of the ways we've started to do that is with the creation of a loose parts library. And what that is a materials library. It's behind room 128, kind of down the hall towards the locker rooms downstairs by the pool. And it's a collection of found objects, manufactured objects, open-ended bits and pieces of things that we bring into the classrooms to extend the learning that's already going on there. And I would love for you all to have a little peek in the Loose Parts Library. And also I would love for you to have a hand in helping me gather some collections. So I'll be sending out notices throughout the year about different odd items that we like to collect in the Loose Parts Library that we can then bring into the classroom. Another thing we've been working on is our intention for the school year. And during our professional development week, we set our intention and we decided to focus on the lens of Hitura Root, which translates to awakening. And this lens, Hitura Root, awakening, amazement, and gratitude, reminds us to slow down and to leave room for the awe and gratitude and humility that we're able to experience in the everyday interactions we have with your children and that we have with each other. So that's something we'll focus on through the entire school year. So come see me in the Loose Parts Library and stop me in the hall. I'd love to chat with you about any of this or any of our Jewish lenses or this constructivist approach that we're moving towards. I'm going to turn it over to Jenny now. She is our parent educator.
Hi, everybody. Well, I'm Jenny, so now I'm the third person who said it. And I'm really excited to be back. I'm excited to be back in my toddler classroom. And when we were all little boxes on the screen, I saw that there were some frogs from last year and some frogs that are coming in. And so now my energy is really high, but I'm also really loving my role as a parent educator at the JCC. And what that means is, in that role, I'm there to provide information and support to all of you when you have questions or just want new ideas or strategies that have to do with development or behaviors. I've talked to parents in the past year who are concerned about developmental milestones like talking and language development, or climbing and physical development, or play with friends and social development, or any of those things. But and then of course I've talked a lot to parents about eating and sleeping and challenging behaviors. Come at me, I got stuff, I got tips. Hitting tantrums, I got you. So, but some parents just want to check in. Because this job of parenting may not be what you thought it was going to be, and you want to run it by someone, and I'm here for that too. The easiest way to reach out is by email, and you'll all get my email at your story gathering meeting with your teacher. And then you can let me know if you prefer to come to the JCC and meet in person on a Monday or Wednesday afternoon, or if the phone is good or Zoom is good. I like Zoom. I know a lot of people are really tired of it. I like it better than the phone. I like to be able to see you. I feel like the communication is better. And I'm available to do that in those afternoons, but also in the evening. A lot of parents have said that the easiest time for them to communicate is after kids are in bed, and I'm good with that too. So one of the most popular topics at this time of year that I'm just going to give a few minutes for tonight is starting school. It could be that your child has some separation anxiety and that this is a new experience. It could be that you are feeling anxious, or it could just be that you want to get off on your best foot. So I have a couple of general strategies for you to keep in mind. And then if you want to talk specifics, you can email me as soon as we get off this Zoom, and I'll reach out to you tomorrow morning. Okay, so first, 2 thoughts about the warm-up. You're going to visit the school before the first day. That's your story gathering meeting. And that means you and your child are going to get to see the classroom and meet the teachers. And most important, find out where the important things are, like the cubby where your children's things will be, the place where they'll eat, the place where they'll go to the bathroom, the place where they'll play outside and where they'll be picked up. These are things that make children feel better. You'll get a rundown of the day's activities. And depending on how engaged your child is, they may take a look around the room and check out some of the activities are there. The opportunity to become familiar with the parts of the environment that are most important to them can be helpful. That's the goal of that initial visit. Remember not to overdo it. So what do I mean by that? Out of our own anxiety or excitement, parents can tend to, can possibly, I should say, overstay or over-explain or oversell. You may have heard yourself saying to your child, you're gonna love school. I met your teacher, you're gonna love your teacher. Chances are, I mean, you're in a pretty great school, so chances are good that that's true. But better to play it a little bit more, downplay it just a little, more matter of fact. Overselling can raise your child's expectations for the place, but also can raise expectations for themselves in the place. What if they don't love it right away? You know, what does that mean? Are they letting you down? For some children, it really is love at first sight. For others, they need some time to settle in. Let us take care of their building of love. So in advance, do use your visit to give your child some familiarity. Don't oversell it or over talk about it. Your message before school starts is, this is your place. I approve of it, I chose it, and I want to help you feel ready, but this is your place. Okay, so now it's go time. You're getting ready for that first day, or maybe even that second and third day, because that transition can take, you know, a little bit. Do what you can in advance, but in the morning, to de-stress the morning. That's always a good strategy, but you know, we're not always so great at that. The mornings in my house were hectic, and my kids were used to it. But in this time of adjustment, take special care to prepare what you can the evening before, whether it's lunches and snacks, the things they're going to need for the day, ironing out the roughest parts of your day. Maybe if shoes on is a struggle, shoes are in the car. Get up in time to avoid rushing, nagging, all of that stuff. And then something you may not have thought of is give yourself a cushion if you can in the morning before the first thing that you're required to do. Maybe you let people know not to expect you right on the nose, or you don't set up an appointment first thing in the morning that somebody else is depending on, but you get the idea. An extra note about you: be careful to curb your own stress or anxiety. I wish I could see you all and have you like raise your hands to talk directly to those of you who are feeling the hardest, but it's 100% okay to have your own big feelings when you drop your child off, but your child is watching you to know that what's happening is good, that you feel good about where they're going, that you feel like this is a good idea, right? So take your deep breaths, use your self-talk, make a quick and clean transition, and then you can have your tears. And as a matter of fact, for the first 3 days of the regular schedule, the 29th, 30th, 31st, we're going to be serving coffee. Adrian can tell us at the end exactly what time and where that is, but that'll probably be a good place to get some support if you're feeling a little doubtful. So specifically about drop-off. If you're coming to early care in the morning and you're walking your child to the door, feel free to help them into the room if they can't carry all their stuff. Say your good mornings to the teacher, say your goodbyes to your child, and go. The thing about prolonging goodbyes is that they're most stressful for your child. They're not, as much as you may think they negotiate, they're not that experienced at how negotiation works. So they only know that if they can get you to stay 5 minutes today by whining and asking 100 questions, then they should double up on that and see if they can get you to stay 10 minutes tomorrow. So help them see what they're in charge of and what you're in charge of, and say your goodbyes and go. Same at the gate. Now the gate's going to be more obvious because there's frankly human traffic and car traffic happening there. But give your child a loving and a confident send off. Bye, Sam. I see Miss Debbie waiting for you, and I'll see you right here after nap. Or you can even say, this part of the day is hard for you. I get it. I'm going to see you right after nap. And look, I see Miss Debbie waiting to give you a hug. Know a couple of things. One, we're going to let you know if your child's having a hard time. If their transition to school or their separation journey, as I like to call it, isn't progressing on a typical and positive trajectory, we're going to talk to you about it. We're not going to tell you that everything's fine. If your child is sad, we want to work with you and make this a good experience. The other thing to remember, not all children do experience tough separations, but there's a fair amount who do. It's learning and it's a part of development. And guess what? That's part of what we're here for. We want to help, and we've actually got skills. The teachers that your children are going to be meeting and are going to be left with have skills for this. The other thing you may not know, that, well, a couple of you from my class last year learned this, is that at carpool, on the other side of that gate, there's a team of warm people greeting your child, and they're amazing. I'm so happy and so grateful for them. I think by the second or third day, the coach and all the other teachers that aren't even your child's teacher that are on the other side of that gate, they know your child's name, and they're empathetic and they're caring and they're warm. So your child doesn't go through the gate and then, shuffle around to their class with their saddies. They're picked up, they're loved, and the experience is caring and helpful. So it's helpful, of course, to keep a predictable routine, drop off and pick up, especially if your child is having a hard time, but also to keep things relaxed in your family schedule for the first few days, so that you're not running around. Everybody has some downtime, maybe some sensory activities or a nice long bath or something like that. Okay, so the message for this stage is that you recognize that it's a significant transition. We don't say things like, you're okay, because they're not yet, and that's okay. But you also believe that this is a good step, that this is a good thing that you're doing. All right. Last step. There are a couple of things that you can do as the year goes on to help your child be successful. And I've sort of gathered these from my own experience, but also from the other teachers. Think you may have, some of you have probably thought about a backup plan or an emergency plan if your child is sick, because we certainly don't want you to send your children to school if they're sick. But there may be occasions when your child just isn't 100%. Not a lot, but maybe it's a tough vaccine day. Maybe they didn't sleep for a specific reason, or one of the significant members of their family, a parent or a sibling, has gone out of town and it's thrown everybody off. If you're able to pick them up early and shorten the day, or send them to a relative's, consider it. It's not an option for everyone every time. But when it is, it's a nice thing to have. When you can't, and this is the last thing I want to talk about, communicate. Stay in touch. As Adrian said, Brightwheel we really depend on Brightwheel. Stay in touch via Brightwheel for two reasons. One is that you'll know what's going on at school, and you'll be able to make sure that your child is prepared. If there's some sort of change in schedule, if there's something that they need, if they're out of some materials or out of cubby clothes, that's how you'll know. If something specific happened that day that you might want to ask your child about, that's how you'll know. But the other reason is that that's how we know what's going on with your child and your family. So we can be prepared if there's been a change, or if they're not coming today, or if you're picking them up early. So we want to stay in communication and provide your child with that sense of security. So the last do's are do pay attention to your child's signals around wellness, physical and mental wellness, and do communicate with your teaching team. And the message there is that your child's day and their school experience is important. It's a priority for the family. So I hope that's been helpful. If you want more specifics, or if somehow I've made you more concerned instead of less concerned, then please email me and we'll find a time to talk. I'll throw it back to Adrian.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Jenny, that was very helpful. I'm sure you're going to get some calls. So parents, as Jenny said, you will be getting a little flyer with more information about what who she is and where she's coming from and what she offers for the families. And I know last year was the first year she was back with us. She was with us many moons ago as a teacher. And many of our parents and teachers really were helped by her knowledge and expertise in parenting and early childhood development. So thank you. I did want to just mention again, I had sent an email regarding the 29th and 30th, and I know Jenny mentioned it, that we are going to have a little coffee and a little nosh available in our little seating area by the, where you can look at the pool in the back of the nursery school area. Available from 8:45 to 10 a.m. for families who maybe have just dropped off their child and aren't ready to leave the facility yet. Come talk with other families, talk with some of us. We'll be there. Rebecca's going to be in her loose parts library if you want to browse there. Or even if you're just ready to get rid of your kid and just want to hang out a little longer before you go to work, please join us. We're looking forward to doing that. That will be the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the very first full days of school, the 29th, 30th, and the 1st. So I did want to end the evening by sharing with you the JCC's vision of the child, which is also found in the family handbook. Our vision of the child. The child is a unique and complex individual grounded in a cultural heritage and embodied with potential. To support these capable, curious thinkers, we provide a nurturing, engaging environment that will balance boundaries with freedom of discovery. And we are so excited to start the year. With that, I want to say thank you for spending a little time getting to know us this evening. This is just the beginning of many more opportunities for us all to come together as a community. Thank you again, and good night.